Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. It is the 11th of January as 2024, as you can see in the corner, and we are back on my computer to do another update video with what's happening to the Transperth services. As we can see, the yearly just before school starts changes have come onto the website now. Every year there's some pretty major changes happening around this time, and I've wanted to make a video just to explain everything that's happening, because there's quite a few significant things happening apart from time changes. So let's take a read through this. The first thing that will pop out and you're going to see is Victoria Park Transfer Station will be renamed to Causeway Bus Station. Yes, this is pretty surprising. Like, I did not expect there to be a whole bus station renamed just casually like this. Although I do think that it is confusing having Victoria Park train station serving buses and then also having Victoria Park transfer station, which is not even in the proper Victoria Park center. So I think it's well called for to change this. It makes more sense to call it the Causeway bus station since it serves all the Causeway routes. And I think it actually was called that in the past long ago, but then they changed it. Now they're changing it back. And it's so funny because every change, a lot of the changes I'm about to talk about, I literally predicted just before they happen, and it always seems like that. Every time Transperth is doing something, I seem to predict the change before it happens, which is so ridiculous. I don't know how, but that's how that's what I managed to do. So today I was just in the city, and I was talking with some people, and we were like, oh, we went to the Causeway. And we're like, it's so stupid that Victoria Park transfer station is called that, because it's just right after the Causeway and it just confuses people. They should really rename it to like Burswood bus station or Causeway transfer station. And then just a few hours later we saw this. Unbelievable. Yeah, anyway, that's just a weird thing. Now, here we can see all of these routes are going to have some time changes, including a lot of the Armadale Thornley Line shutdown routes, which were just recently introduced, as you can see. And then there's extra changes as well. So I'll let you read through some of these in your own time if you want to see. It's just like additional trips at different times. Yeah. I don't know. Nothing particularly there. Yeah, sorry. So we're just gonna, yeah, 28, there's a few changes. 34, this is mostly just school trip changes and extra trips. But this one's interesting. 95, currently a once-a-day route between Glendale and Stirling, is getting additional trips, so there'll be two twice a day. I actually filmed this one just a few weeks ago, haven't posted it, but that's cool. We're gonna have two of those services now. 221 is getting its frequency reduced from Armadale Station in the morning, because as I was expecting, to be honest, another thing I predicted, most people just take 529 and then the train, which is way faster than 221, so not many people use it from Armadale, which isn't why now half of the services will be actually commencing at Kelmscott, which is pretty strange. But like, that's such a weird place to start that long route, but okay, that makes more sense though. And then nothing much down here, but this is very interesting. New route 249. So we do have a new route. 249 was previously the 219, the current 219 between Kelmscott and Armadale. Now they've reused the number. I did hear way before, months in advance actually, that this route is in Transperth data files and that it's coming in, and now it's finally here. Operating between Hilbert and Armadale Station, which again is so funny. On Saturday, I drove down to take the 253 bus to Jarrahdale, because there's no other way to get back from it. And on the way back, let me show you. I stopped over here in Hilbert at this random park here, the Adventure Traffic Park and Playground, just to see what's there, because I've never been here, and it's such a small little segregated suburb. Look at this, just this, and then bushland all around. And I was here and I was like, oh wow, these people have such bad access to public transport. There's only a school route going through here, nothing else. They have to walk all the way up to Armadale Road to get on a bus, which is so far away. And all of these little patches of houses here honestly don't have managed buses. I was like, they really should have a bus here. And now less than a week later, they have announced the introduction of 249. Now unfortunately they haven't put the new route on the website yet, although it is on the Transperth app, so you can check it out in there, but I'm not going to be screen recording my phone. But basically, it starts at Armadale, and then heads through here, through Brookdale where the 250 goes, and then down along here somewhere, and goes over here, and then literally terminates at that park, which I was talking about, which is ridiculous. Like, less than a week before the change was announced, I went specifically to a new bus terminus. I probably parked where the bus stop will be without even knowing it, and now that's a whole, now it's going to become a bus terminus, which is so weird. So I'll definitely be going there very soon when the service starts. I'll take an afternoon service, but then again there's no way back, so you have to walk along Tonkin Highway on the PSP, and you can take it up to Armadale Road where there's 519 and 529, or down to Byford to 524, which is a bit closer but obviously less frequent. Anyway, that's a very cool route. Here are the service times. It's nice. I don't even remember the last time they introduced a new route which wasn't like at the same time as there was changes to train services, like an airport line opening, Lake Line's opening, or Armadale line closing. So anyway, 253, this has actually been on the website for over a year under a separate thing over here, additional services. It's been here since the start of 2023, if not 2022, yeah, the start of 2023. So 253, as I was just talking about, the Jardale bus is going to get a little extra services. It's not many though, and there's still no inbound trips after outbound trips, so it's still just as impossible to get there. Although, or back I mean, although they are adding a few extra stops in Jardale. Currently there's only 3 pairs, which I filmed on Saturday, but now they're adding bus services to deviate down here to King Jarrah Circuit and go back up. I've checked on the app as well, and you can too if you want to see. And then some services terminating right outside Jardale General Store. I think that happens now as well though. And then heading up and deviating via Schools and Whitby on their journey. So there's like 5 to 6 services a day now instead of just 3 or 4 how it is now, as well as 1 on Saturday. That hasn't changed. Continuing on, 321. This service has a once a day deviation to Parkerville in the early morning, which I haven't filmed, but I was planning to very soon. But that service also does a really weird thing here in Glen Forest. The normal route goes around here on William Street. I know so many William Streets. Up here and here, doing a loop here, which we filmed many times, and so has Justin. I've been here many times. But at the moment, that one deviating trip actually cuts here along McGlue Road. And it says deviates via McGlue Road. It's not really a deviation. It's like omitting this section. Although there's no stops there, just so it's a bit faster, because then it loses time deviating to Parkerville. But now they're not doing that anymore for some reason. And on here it says that the trip departing Midland Station will now depart 4 minutes earlier and no longer deviate via McGlue Road, so it will now take the normal route, but it will still deviate to Parkerville. So that's just that. Then 353 actually has a once a day deviation to Discovery Park, Swan Valley, if I can find it here, and Mazon Santo Honoré here. This bus stop, it used to have 4 bus stops here when it was the 340, now it's just 1. But I did film that deviation, and I made a whole video for it, which I'll link you to. But it's so pointless, no one used it, and they finally realized that, and you can see now, it says, the weekday trip departing Henley Brook at 7:24 will no longer deviate via Discovery Parks. The weekday trip departing Vassendine at 3:20 will no longer deviate via Discovery Parks. They could just say altogether that deviation won't exist anymore, because those were the 2 deviating services, but they said it a bit more subtly, as if it's just those trips, but those are the only trips that deviate, so gone now. 388, this is a minor change, but the very, very early morning service, 4:34 AM departing Warwick, is now going to run as a short service because not enough people use it, which is expected, but they're probably expecting like 2 or 3 passengers that early in the morning, but it probably gets 0, so it's actually going to be starting from Wanneroo Road, which is so weird because no services of the 380X routes currently terminate on Wanneroo Road, now, or start on. Now this will be the only service to do so, which means this is a pure Wanneroo Road only, and then Charles Street obviously because it changes names, service operating from Wanneroo Road, Beach Road intersection, just straight line to the city, 0 turns. This route has 0 turns. I'm not even joking. Is that actually the first route with 0 turns? Like, it doesn't even turn out of, like, 449 is just straight along Beach Road, but it has to turn into Warwick Station. But this doesn't. It starts on one road, goes straight ahead, straight, Charles Street, straight onto the bus bridge, straight into the bus board, and terminate. So 0 turns. That is so cool. Absolutely straight route, but it's so early in the morning. But whatever. Anyway, it's still very minor. It's just a cool little detail there, a nerdy fact for you. The only route not to turn, or only trip not to turn, yeah. Anyway, the rest is just a few more extra trips for schools. And then this one, 517, getting a really dumb change in Southern River. It's the smallest change I've ever seen for a route change. Here in Southern River, currently 517 operates along here and down here, just a straight corner like that. But now they've got a few new houses here. They just opened this road. It's not connected on the map yet, but it actually just opened. And now the bus will just travel up here instead, which is so dumb. That's such a small change, but I guess it's just to serve these new houses better. But that's crazy. They just built new houses and they just got a bus. And there's so many other places in Perth, like my home suburb, which still don't have a bus, and houses have existed here for ages. So now it's going to go like that. These 2 stops will be removed, and they're going to be moved there, which I guess I might film those 2 stops. But yeah, that's that change. You can see here, and nothing else for that. And I do believe that is it. There's just a few more time changes, school route deviation changes. 600, apparently they closed Austin Cove Baptist Primary School, which actually I was there on the last day of the old 600 route, and I made a video. You can see it's like full of like a construction site, and it was so closed off and so weird with the buses in there. So I guess they closed the school. I don't know why they were still deviating it at that time. It was so weird, and now they finally realized that they shouldn't do that anymore. Anyway, 930 is getting a few extra trips as well, which is crazy. And it's already 4 minutes per bus. Now it's going to be like 2 minutes per bus because it's just so busy. Every time I see a 930 in peak, it's packed. 990 is, yeah, also getting extra trips, which those trips I also predicted. So I was at Scarborough Beach bus station on Thursday last week, so that's a week ago, when they have the sunset markets there. And it was so full. I was like, oh damn, they really should have extra buses here. And then less than, like, the next day they announced this. Additional services every Thursday, only on Thursday because of that sunset markets. 3 extra services, as well as the buses being articulated from now on, which is good. So they maintain the 15-minute frequency until like 8:50 p.m. on Thursday nights to reduce crowding, as well as a few extra services on Sunday. That's just a nice supplement there, which are also going to be articulated. So I also predicted that change. 3 different things that we predicted and talked about just before they happened. That's crazy. It's my curse. Wherever I go, something changes. Again, that's it. We've gone through the list now. So the major changes, obviously, I'll just list them now. Victoria Park transfer station being renamed, and then new route 249. Those are the biggest things. And then a few smaller things. 353 losing its once a day deviation. 321 having its once a day deviation modified a bit. So there's only 1 deviation, not 2. 253 getting its route changed a bit and extra services. And 517 getting its route changed a tiny bit. And 388 getting a short service with absolutely no turns. Those are all the changes summarized. And 600 not deviating to the primary school, and yeah, extra 930s and 990s. So that's all the changes summarized. I'll link in the description exactly this minute, just if you want to hear them like that. But other than that, make sure you go on here, check all these school changes if you want to see about your school. There's minor things for many schools. I'm not going to go through that. None of the schools which I attend or anyone I know attends, so nothing significant there either. Although I did hear there's actually some schools which have changed their start and end times, and nothing's been changed because of that, such as Woodvale. It's not on here. And another one which I don't know which one, but also got it changed to end later, but the bus times haven't been changed, which is so bad. They're gonna figure that out soon, I hope. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to quickly go through all that. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna try film all these the main change. I already filmed the 353 deviation, but I want to film the 3211 and the 517 stops and whatever else quickly in the next few weeks for the 31st Jan and 28 Jan changes. It's not that major as it was other years. Like since 2019, I'd say it hasn't got that major anymore. Before that, there was massive stuff happening each year, especially 2016 when, you know, like Elizabeth Key got renamed from Esplanade to Elizabeth Key, and like all the timetables changed, including the train timetables. Yeah. Alright. It's just funny that I can predict stuff like that. I bet more is gonna happen in the future. But yeah. Oh yeah, 95 getting an extra trip. Bye.